So this is how not to go broke buying costumes as a kids entertainer. Let's go. So what does a costume first of all do for you? A costume will set you apart from the competition. Now, there's a couple of costumes that you can have. You can have your own costume, like I've got a Super Steph costume, which I'll show you later. And it's got like the star, and no one has that costume. It's like a superhero costume, but it's purple and yellow, giving it just for me. You won't see some other company using that same costume. What you will see other companies wearing is like, the princess costumes, the ones that everybody has. And there's a difference with those as well. I see really expensive $2,000 costumes, and then I see the $80 costumes. And this is what I recommend. I recommend you go somewhere in the middle. With me, I always advocate making sure that you have your own personality, your own character, because anybody can dress up as somebody else and fit into your spot. Nobody is going to be able to dress up as Super Steph with a weird personality and weird funny hair, which sort of like wire, and speak in this weird screechy accent. Who doesn't want that at their party? And they need to want you at your party. So I recommend getting a costume for you. But there's some tips that I've learnt. And they're not all good. One tip is you're going to have a lot of them. I have about 5 different, exactly the same costumes. And when you have that, if you find a good tailor, make sure that they make those costumes well. So you need to be able to multiply your costumes, because sometimes they just die. Underneath the armpits, they die. You'll get some like pulling here, depending on what it is. You'll get some child who loves you coming up. Like a big giant slug has got like black all over its face because you've got face paint all over and it's like smeared and it's coming towards you. I love you, Super Steph. You're like, I love you too. Just don't touch me with your face. You have to go home and spend about 2 hours praying that face paint comes off out of your costume that you've had tailored. Top tip with face paint on costumes: don't use hot water, it seems to set. Use cold water, washing up liquid as fast as you can. Don't even wait to go home, just be a minute, just wash it out. I'm all for making a costume for yourself and making it something that no one else will have, but I'm now not for making it that you have to go and find a special tailor who's going to do it right or do it wrong, because tailors sometimes don't listen to you. I would instead try and get my costume looking like something I could buy from Etsy or from AliExpress. One of my top ones, which I saw recently, was a company called the Fairy Floss Doctors, and they have they're dressed in lab coats. How easy is it to get a lab coat? How easy is it to multiply your people with a lab coat and big glasses? And they just had the logo on there, Fairy Floss Doctors. And there they are with some fairy floss. They've got this big stick, and they're just, all it is fairy floss with a big old paper stick. They must earn a fortune. And they take it all the way up like this. Big giant thing it is. Nothing special, not like in China we can get it all completely decorated. Just this big old mess. Kids are like, oh, that's great. And they look at these Fairy Floss Doctors and they look amazing. Do you know why? Because on top of that, they're props. They've got this table and then they give it to you. They press a button underneath and it goes, and all this like storm of smoke comes up. Actually, you see, I'm excited. Big glasses, lab coat. How easy is that? I recommend going down that route. Look at the Wiggles. They know what they're doing. Black bottoms, colourful top. They know what they're doing. They just multiply different rainbow colours. Maybe they've seen this video already. Always think about, what do I do if I buy this one thing? If I'm going to be doing this thing, what happens in like 10 years time if I'm so big that I'm going to multiply myself like Blippi? I don't know if you noticed this, but on YouTube there's a guy, he's got a cap, he's got glasses, he's got just a pair of jeans and a shirt. And his cap and his glasses has made him now be able to step out of going around kids' parks and playgrounds and things. And he just fits in any person that sort of sounds like Blippi. Sometimes they don't. He just multiplied himself. He's sitting back, relaxing as Blippi. Yes, smoking some cigars. Loose women. So that's what you've got to do. It's make sure that you're looking at the long term and thinking, this part is going to affect my long term if I don't put it in the right direction. It doesn't take long. Just before you go to the tailors, think, how can I multiply this? Now, with the character people that go out and they do different superheroes and princesses and all that sort of jazz, obviously I've been there, so these are the top tips. Don't go for the really expensive $2,000 costumes. They look amazing. All these beautiful satin luxurious dresses of princesses. And then you've got the knockoffs, which are like $80. This is Australian, by the way, $80, which are all this flimsy, nylon-y material. You need to go in the middle, because the really expensive $2,000 ones, again, unless you're a millionaire before you even start out, you can't keep multiplying that. That means that one person's going to have that for that one weekend. Unless you've got like 5 others at $2,000. That's like a car. You could drive around in your big princess skirt as a car. So I recommend going around the sort of, for princesses need to be a little bit more luxurious. I'd say up to $500 Australian. It's about $250 American, I think, more or less, £250. But if you go for those $2,000 ones, which look amazing, you've got a couple of problems. You've got one, problems with them ripping and wearing and tearing, because those people who are going out with you, they don't care. They're just stuck. You've seen their cars. You look in their cars, it's all full of crisp packets and McDonald's drinks, and it's all hair and the cockroaches. Ugh. Ugh. You need to make sure that if they do die or they get lost, you're not sobbing in the corner. Where's my beautiful princess? You know, life's more than a princess skirt. If you get the sort of the $300 ones, $400, then it's a lot better, because if there's a child who just comes along, toffee all over its face, you don't have to do this. Oh, stay back. And I've seen these performers. They look amazing, but there's no connection with the child, and it's really about getting down there, sweeping that messy old child up. You know, it's lovely. They've got to feel that they can connect with you rather than stand back saying, oh, that's lovely, little boy. Those things crease sometimes too. So crushed velvet is the best. Crushed velvet, you can pour petrol on it and set it alight, and I swear to you, it'll probably come back looking better than it did. I'll show you what crushed velvet is. That's crushed velvet, this stuff here. It's not real velvet, it's just like a cheap man's velvet. Now, when you get a costume, usually it's from some company like Etsy or just those random places. Mainly Etsy have got the best ones. So with character costumes, also, you'll find that you're buying them online from either the normal stores, like the normal costume shop, or you're buying them a little bit more upmarket from like places like Etsy, where somebody's, you know, taken 17 hours to sew on some buttons and then charge you through the roof for it. When you get them in your house, you'll find that they probably don't fit that well. Now, this is the problem when I have hosts that go into these costumes and they've all got to share the same costume. I have to have the host roughly be the same size. I can also get away with this by putting like elastic around here and getting a good old like a tie on those rather than zips. Anything that has all that lacy stuff, you know, like in the olden days where you had to sort of have a big corset and it's got those ribbons, you can't do that. Make it look all neat, like tie it off and then cut the side out and put a zip in there, because they're doing that. No, just imagine you're doing this in the car, kind of to make it look pretty. It's not going to happen. You have to make it that the performers that you have going out doing the shows, it makes it as easy as possible, like putting on a big old pair of pajamas. If you have to go to a tailor, I really recommend you take a notebook, just when you start off, because then it won't look weird, like you don't remember what I'm telling you and you keep messing it up, because tailors do. So I even bought my tailor once. Oh, I've got a superhero. I said superheroes on there. And you put all your notes on there because they can refer back to them. You're not the only person that works with your tailor. So when you go, there's somebody else. Can you just do this up? And they're going to look at your stuff in about 6 days' time and go, what did she want me to do? I think it was something to like take the hem up, and I can't remember how long, but they can't remember. So always just write it down what you're deciding and it'll help you. Otherwise you have to do this. Oh, that's lovely. Yes, great job. Thank you so much. Ruff, ruff, like me. Top tip about tailors as well is always look out for one in your area. I wouldn't recommend going to your mum or going to an auntie or something like that, because there's a lot of stuff that needs to be fixed, and it has to be fixed in the correct way. If you're going to do this kids entertaining job properly. So you need to make sure that you can say, without making it awkward in your family and friends circle, you did say it was going to be ready a week ago and it's still not. What's going on? Rather than having a big fallout with Auntie Joyce because she didn't even bother doing it because poor Auntie Joyce is in hospital. Now you're stuck with this costume that you can't go out in on the weekend. And finally, with the material, I'm going to guarantee that I'm going to save you money by just telling you these things. Stay away from anything metallic. Metallic, beautiful, shiny. I'm like a little bird that sees something, like a little bowerbird that sees something, has to pick it up. If it's metallic, take it away. This is my lunchbox. But the problem with metallic, it doesn't last. In fact, it probably maximum lasts about 4 washes, and you have to put it on cold, and that doesn't get out any smells. Some people smell bad. Even though it looks pretty, try and stay away from metallic. Sometimes it gets too hot and it will stick to itself and actually peel off the metallic on the other side. Shiny, same thing as shiny, metallic shiny, that sort of material. Choose something that doesn't need ironing as well. Sometimes you're going to get a costume online, you have no idea what it's made of. I recommend getting the slightly cheaper costumes, as I've explained, because the bigger costumes, they made out of nicer material, and that material is like cotton or something. You need your good old polyester. You could even put it up and turn it into a tent type material. And last but not least, if you find that the costume doesn't fit you, get rid of it. Oh, there's so many costumes that I have been using for the past 10 years where I thought I looked good in it. Just take a photo of yourself. I looked shocking. Actually, saying that, I was pregnant, so it wasn't very flattering. If you like these little tips and tricks about how to become the best children's entertainer in your area and the marketing side, which is the main part, click on down below, fill out the little form, come into my community where I send you the stuff that your competition doesn't know about. So that's it on costumes, and try not to let you spend money on stuff that's not going to work. So if you like this video, have a look up here. How to create an incredible party atmosphere for your kids' entertaining shows with music. Okay, that's it. I'm off now. See you later. Bye. Bye, friends. Bye. Bye. Bye.